Hello everyone, my name's Brittany. I wanted to come on here today and share with you some ways that my family are taking fun field trips this year with our homeschool program, and different ways that we found to get either free or discounted admission for places that may be available to you that you may not have thought about. I'm going to list them in order from what I kind of think is the least important to the ones that I have been utilizing the most. And the first one you've probably already thought of, and that is just to simply keep your ear open for free things to do in your area. Um, there are several, nature preserves, many national parks are free, different trails, community events, concerts in some cases you can get free admission to, and a good way for your kids to get out and enjoy the fresh air and maybe learn something new or experience something new. I remember several years ago, whenever I was being homeschooled as a teenager, I grew up very rurally, and so we didn't have a whole lot of concerts in my area or museums or things like that. But there was this nature preserve that was having an event where they kind of taught you how to tap maple trees or showed you the process being done, and then like the process of boiling the sap down and everything like that. And I still remember that. I still remember that to this day, going there and learning that stuff. And all it really took was my mom keeping her ear to the ground and finding out about this event that was happening that day. So look for free things that are going on in your area and free institutions that are offered through your own taxpayer dollars, really. Second on the list is to just like subscribe to different museums or zoos or different kind of places that you maybe want to take your family, and see if they have some free days throughout the year. If you're on social media, subscribe to their social media. I have been able to get in on a couple occasions to the zoo that's local to us. They'll have a couple free days every year. And then also they'll have these different things where maybe they're supporting like a charity, and if you bring in a bag of canned goods or something like that, you can get free or discounted admission on certain days because they're, collecting for food bank or something like that. So that could be something that's valuable to you. Just a quick word of caution: if you're one of those people that is tempted by marketing emails, this might not be the right choice for you. I know our zoo they'll have, like I said, they'll have a couple free days every year, but they'll also, I feel like every email I get is something like, hey, come to the zoo, pay full price, and then you might, see the Easter Bunny on this certain day or something like that. That's not really a priority for our family right now. So just kind of be able to filter through those and find out what's actually valuable for you and your family. Third on my list is to keep an eye open for different promotions that your company has that you work for. I work for a larger company, and there will be on our company website different perks that you get through the company. I know several years ago we were able to get into an amusement park for significantly discounted admission on a particular company day that they were having. These days can get pretty busy, but the good thing about this is that as a homeschool family, you can kind of go whenever all the other kids are in school, right? And you can do your looking around in the morning or whenever. So you can do that. We also had through my company, they offered a discount to a local museum. And we were able to get in like a membership, like a whole year's worth of visits to this museum. We were able to do for significantly less than it would have cost us if we showed up to the museum and paid full price. That membership paid for itself several times over, in my opinion. And then last on the list, and this one I've been utilizing the most lately, and that is to kind of in along the lines of like what they do in England. I remember several years ago, we went on a trip to England, and I love how you can just walk down the street there and walk into a museum, and it's free. It's taxpayer funded, right? Nothing's free, but the people pay taxes, and then that goes to preserve these priceless artifacts that people from all over the world can enjoy. And I really, really loved that about England. I wish we did something similar in America. I'm not hopeful for that to happen anytime soon, though. But many people don't realize that there is also a taxpayer-funded way to get free admission to museums. And all it requires is an extra step. And many of you, as homeschooling families, already have done this step, and that is simply to have a library card. We have had a library card for years and years, and we use it for the library, right? Going and checking out books and, maybe doing a few library kind of events. But my library has a link to an outside website where you can go and view numerous museums, zoos, botanical gardens, historical buildings, in some cases events like different screenings or different performances. And you can select certain days and kind of reserve yourself a pass for you and your family to get in for free to these different institutions. It's really, really great. I did a quick Google search because I didn't want to come on here and be like, my library is so wonderful, you can get everything for free. And it looks like just from the quick, internet search that I did, that several libraries throughout the country also do this. Seattle, you can do this. New York, Chicago, Boston, Miami, Philly. There's loads of libraries that participate in a similar program. So get on your library's website or talk to your librarian and see if there's something that's similar to this in your area. By the way, I know, I grew up rurally, and I know a lot of homeschooling families who maybe don't live like within city limits. We are not within city limits by any stretch of the imagination. We live out there a little ways, but I understand it's maybe, a big drive for you guys to go to, the big city and see the shiny museums there. In my searching, I think Google knew that I was like searching in the state that I'm in. And so they also showed me several libraries that are in my state that are in more rural counties. And these libraries offered similar programs where you can reserve passes, maybe not to city museums in other counties, but to different historical societies within that county. And that's great too. Maybe you'll get out and experience something different. I know my library, even aside from reserving passes to museums and zoos and places like that, will even hold different events through the library that are, they'll teach kids to play different games, or they'll teach them certain crafts, or there will be like a Lego building club. Around Halloween, they will have a historian go out and tour a local cemetery, and they'll tell like the stories of different notable people that are buried there, which is kind of a fun, spooky, I guess, thing to do. So take a look at what your library has to offer. Just here recently, we reserved a pass for our local natural history museum. If we had showed up to the museum that day and purchased tickets, it would have been $90 for my whole family to get in. We got in for free through our library because I reserved that pass that I'm talking about. We spent the day looking at the dinosaurs. My husband took a half day of work and came along with us. He had some vacation he could use. And we looked at the artifacts, and then very close to our natural history museum there is a library. Actually, it's a wonderful library. It's multiple floors, and there's a media room there that my children love. And so we spent the day at the Natural History Museum and the library. And so we kind of had a nice little kickoff to the year, kind of a beginning of the school year field trip. And with the money that we saved from not paying $90 to go to the museum, we all went out to eat together as a family. So I hope this was helpful to you. Use the library to the best of your advantage. It's there for you to use. I hope you found this useful in some way. I hope you and your family get to take some fun field trips this year with school, and I hope you have a good day.